Hey, Soul Fam, psychickami here, popping on today for our second installment of Cosmic Conversations, what is sure to be the most enlightening hour of the week for sure. I have a couple of things to set up before I can bring on our special guest. So hang out, let me know that you can hear and see me okay, and we will get started in just a moment. Again, just need to make a couple of adjustments, make sure that everything is working just the way that I would like it to before I bring our very special guest on, Ms. Karlla Birtchnell. Again, let me know that you can hear and see me okay, and we'll get started in just a moment. Again, my name is Kami. I'm a channel psychic and medium, and every Sunday, we're a little bit early today because Ms. Karlla is out of country, but every Sunday from now, for the next couple of months, we're going to be hosting a series of conversations with other spiritually minded people, other folks that work in spirituality, folks that want to come on and just share their special medicine with everybody. That's what this is about. So every Sunday, if you would like to mark yourself as going or get notices of when we are live having these conversations, go over to my event section, and that will give you the links to reserve yourself. Okay. I feel like I'm just about ready. I'm just about ready. Let's see here. Okay. Again, say hi. Let me know that you can see and hear me okay. We will get started in just a moment. Hi, Ashley. Kenny says everything looks really good. Terrific. I am going to go ahead and bring on my very special guest today, Ms. Karlla. Let's see. There we go. Good to have everybody here today, too. Thanks for joining us. There's Karlla. Ah. Hello,
Hello,
hello, hello. Can you hear and see me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
I think so. I'm going to turn my volume up just a tidge. Everything good?
Yes, I
Fantastic.
can hear you fine. Can you hear me? I'm trying out a new microphone tonight.
You're
So just
trying to
making
what?
trying out a new microphone. So I'm
I
just
can hear
like,
you okay. You can, and yeah, and as long as you can hear and see, I mean, I'm good. That's what's important. So everybody who is joining us again, my name is psychickami. I'm a channel psychic and medium. And today with me, I have my dear friend, Karlla Birtchnell. Karlla is a quantum, energetic, witchy healer, very, very powerful, has done some wonderful healing work for me. I'm very thankful for it. She is also a shadow and soul coach. You can find her on Elfie's Let's Get Social. I posted the links for everybody so they can continue to visit with you after our conversation today. Karlla, welcome. Nice to have you. Thanks for being here on a Sunday.
thank you for having me and thank you for changing the times so that we could have my little English self on your channel.
Of course. It would be terrible if I wouldn't. I think so for us. So you think you're, so I'm in California, so you're 8 hours ahead if I remember correctly. So it's
Yeah, which is
that.
quite apt that I am in the future.
You are in the future. I like that. I like the way that that's a very interesting way of looking at it. How fun. So Karlla, I don't know if you watched the last chat that we had with Miss Ashley Carey, but one of the reasons that I wanted to have these conversations is that I wanted to introduce my followers to more people in the woo, and I wanted to introduce you and your light to more people in the woo too. And so I'm curious to know, a little bit about you. What exactly is an energetic witchy healer? And then we're just going to kind of go from there today. So tell me a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
lovely. So I think my whole title is something that I've probably made up over the years because it changes and then I'll attune in one thing and then my guides will be like, well, we're not actually doing that anymore, but there's no name for what it is that you're delivering. So I think sometimes I'm just going with the flow in terms of what I'm actually offering. So I've landed on quantum energetic healing at the moment in terms of that's what I do. I mean, you've worked with me, Cami, haven't you? And it's something that's a little bit different, I think, or I've just not met enough people.
I've kind of been going through that too, just over the last week or two. And so to your point, like, I feel like it's been very difficult, believe it or not, for me to choose a title for myself. I think I know that I've had many over the years. And one of the things that I've been sitting with is that, my gifts are how I do my work. And then the question has been, is like, what is the work that I do? Because I feel like I do so many different things. And so just really recently, I've landed on soul coach, and the way that I share soul coaching is through my gifts of channel and psychic. So I'm kind of, I'm still really working on that for myself. It changes. It really does. And it's such like a multifaceted thing. And so, and you're right, there is no way out there for us. There is no manual. We're just kind of out here winging whatever feels right in the moment. Right?
We learn, don't we, and we change. And as we learn and we change, obviously we're not delivering just one thing. I think over the years we pick up different facets of different practices, and I think so far down the road it just becomes an amalgamation of everything that we've done, hasn't it? But I think if we look back to our ancestors, I don't think they had a specific label or title. It's quite human, isn't it, to want to fit ourselves into a box. It makes it more tangible to maybe our customers or clients that we work with, to fit ourselves in a box. I think it's a very human thing to want to have a title, isn't it? Almost like when we're in our human world having a job, we need that label, that title.
I think that's very insightful to think about, how it was, 200 years ago when we were still like indigenous, or, that kind of a thing, because you're right, like that, you wouldn't have, such a specific thing. That would just be, the tribe's medicine person and whatever the medicine is, whether it's sharing visions or, tinctures, whatever the medicine is, that's just where you went for medicine. So I think that's really insightful. And I agree with you. I think that part of our humanness, and I think some of this too, Karlla, goes back to the fact that we're given names at birth. And so, so we have to, like, what is our name in the world? Isn't that such a funny thing too? That's one of the things that you're given at birth is a name. You're also given a lot of other identity things too. So I could talk about that all day.
I think I can see little tangents happening tonight. I come with a plan and I'm like, oh, you just guide me and we'll
Oh, you
go.
come with a plan. You should have told me the plan. Because, So what's the plan,
Um,
Karlla?
but I think in general, if I was to sum it up, it's probably soul, isn't it? I think I do quite a lot of soul reclamation work, maybe energetically. So something that I've been explaining is reclaiming parts of our soul. So 0 to 7, we can literally die of a broken heart. This is one of my favorite little facts. Like, we can
Yes.
actually die of a broken heart. So what we do 0 to 7 is we create these layers over our heart to protect ourselves. But those layers that we build energetically, spiritually, etherically, or even sometimes quite physically to protect ourselves when we're younger, they become the parts of us that hold us back as we grow, as we change. And I think some people call it conditioning, some people call it your scripts, those like inner parts of ourselves that then hold us back. They protected us for a time, but as we grow, as we ascend further on our journey, they're the bits that hold us back.
Yeah.
So what I'm coming to believe is that part of my journey, it's quite subconscious, it's quite the soul. In a lot of my meditations that I deliver, I will tell my girls, I don't need you here. You are not like who I'm working with. I'm working with your energetic, your etheric, and your subconscious.
That's how that's how I'm able to work too. Like, people will even say to me, like, do you need a picture? No, I'm out here seeing your energy and interacting with your higher self and your angel teams and stuff like that. So it's such an interesting thing how we want to continue to, like, force ourselves into our humanness when really like the work that you and I are doing and that people are here for to hear about today is just, it's such an like a different almost non-human human experience.
Yeah,
You
I
so you said
delivered.
some you
Sorry,
said
go on.
something interesting, and so, for those of you that are new, people are saying how fun this is. I think so too. For those of you that are new to Karlla, Miss Karlla and I have been on this journey together for a while, and a couple of months ago, you had said I think you'd said that you were called to help me just do some healing for myself, and we worked together twice on me, and it's been one of the most beautiful things ever, and one of I think your gifts to the world, or at least your gifts to me, is through the meditations that you write for people to not only listen to, we've done a session live and a session not live, for people to listen to in that moment, which I thought was so powerful. And Karlla sang to me too, which I just thought was just such a beautiful, beautiful, like went right to my heart. But those meditations are great over like in perpetuity, over and over and over again. And personally, I have had, with your help and a couple of other energy healers that were just really called to me in this time a couple months ago, I personally have made these huge shifts through listening to meditations, through the energy work that you and some other folks have done too. And I think the reason that those things work is because it helps us to your point, it helps us to rewrite some of the things, like the stories that are no longer serving us. And so your meditations are so powerful. What a good gift you're bringing to the world through those.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think we get so wrapped up, don't we? And again, and it a lot. I sound like I'm from another planet. I actually am, but I'm here as Karlla to come and speak to you. But I think it's the humanness again, isn't it? There's only so
Mm,
much that we can think, feel, touch, that we are able to transmute, and then it
mm,
has to be on a subconscious, it has to be the etheric, the energetic body that we then work with, because there's only so much in our awareness at any one time. And I think obviously I've done a lot of conscious work on
mm,
myself. I've worked with a lot of really amazing healers and amazing coaches that brought me to where I was, and then I then got thinking like there is more, and that's kind of where I then obviously I'm saying obviously we all know, but the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, those parts of us, it's about owning all of it. And I think even again, just being able to bring those things to you subconsciously, the way that I write my meditations are it's all subconscious programming. So that's why I don't
mm,
need people there, because you'll be washing up a week later and you'll have a thought, but it's
mhm,
that meditation that's created that space for those thoughts to come up and for you to do. It'll bring things to you in stages as opposed to
mm,
everything. I think what I learned at the beginning is that they were too powerful, so I've not necessarily scaled them back, but the way that I delivered the energetic healing, because it could feel a bit maybe like a tornado. And I've had women
mm,
say, like, I've cried for 3 days. So instead of bringing everything all up at once, I think over the last 18 months, I've been able to deliver it a lot softer.
mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
so that
I
it's
had a lot of like soft, the meditations that you've done for me have been like that. They've been very like loving and like mother and soft and feminine woman energy. And I think that you have a real gift with bringing your medicine to the world like that. You said something interesting. I want to ask you a question. And so you said you work with the energy body. And so in just thinking too, I think I probably focus a lot on the emotional body, but I think that's where my healing lies, is in the emotional body. But I'm not sure that a lot of people have an understanding that we have different bodies with us. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? About I think there's 3 or 4, maybe more.
Yeah,
For some
well,
reason.
there is, and then it goes out and out and out and out again. And I think my favorite analogy is, if you, I think Shrek probably is, everyone knows who Shrek is, or is it an English thing?
Yeah,
Or
Shrek. Yeah, we know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he has his onions, doesn't he? And he talks about the layers. And that, when I
Mm,
talk in a lot of analogies, but I think people find that's quite relatable, make everything kind of understandable. but we need to think of it like that. So we've got our physical, then obviously we've got an aura, we've got an etheric body. And not only that, I mean, I can't show you but it's as wide as your hands will go, is our energy. And within each of those layers of the energetic self, things get trapped in that. So you could work with someone clearing something, say it's a situation, a person, a place, and whilst you feel you've healed it or you've transmuted it on a physical level, it's still within one of those layers. I think we talk about auras, don't we, and things staying within your aura. But if you think of it again back to Shrek with his onion, each one of them is a layer. So I love counseling, I love therapy, I love that coaching kind of vibe, but I think it needs to be a completely multifaceted approach to healing where you do work with someone on your physical, your emotional, and your etheric self.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And I think, oh, I had a thought. It's totally gone already. Something about the etheric body, and it's totally gone. It'll come back if it's supposed to.
It's everything, isn't it? I mean, as I say, I'm talking a lot of analogies, but trauma to one person,
there you are. Yeah,
could be like massive, but trauma to another person, it could be as simple as someone. This is another analogy I use all the time: is a teacher or a responsible one of your adults saying you've got big feet. So you grow up your whole life with this image of yourself having big feet, when in reality it was just that person's perception of your feet. So a lot of the work that I'm doing is bringing this to the person's awareness, helping them like move through and transmute those. I know I use the analogy of feet, but it's absolutely everything. Someone could have said your eyes are funny or your ears are big or whatever. And each time any of this happens, it creates what in the psychology world, what's known as a schema. And it's those schemas that build who we are. Without going into the life story of Karlla, I mean, I got to 30 with all these, I didn't know who I was at all in any capacity because there was that much external noise had shaped who I was as a person. And it's took just going back in and sitting with myself and going back in and in and in and in. And I think what I'd like the viewers this evening to understand is that it's a never-ending journey. I sit here not as a fully healed oracle woman. I sit here as a woman like you do, as the people that are watching, that someone that just woke up one day and was like, I want better and I want more. What we need to, obviously, is something that I'm quite passionate about, is understanding that that work never ends. Each time we're triggered, each time we're asked to look at a situation, a person, a place, a behavior, that's doing the work. The journey never finishes. I'll be an old woman who's 80 plus, still doing the work. It's a daily thing. And
it's a daily commitment. It's a commitment to yourself. It really is.
Without running off too far into the near future, this is probably something that we can come back and touch on again. Once you've done this life, then you've got your past lives and your previous lives and all your generational stuff. And that's why I fully believe it's not a liminal thing. It's just a continuing cycle.
I agree with that. And okay, so let's see. I should take notes as I'm having thoughts. I wanted to talk about, so let's see. You'd said something about how something can happen. I don't know, maybe in my mind I was wanting to talk about this, but how we can have an event happen in one, like in our physical body, and how it stays in other places. And I think to that, I wanted to just sort of elaborate on that too, is like, this is how we get the saying that the body remembers. It's sometimes the physical body remembers, but oftentimes it's the energetic, etheric, emotional bodies that are remembering and playing out through our physical body. And then to your point about healing being perpetual, it really is. And I think one of the reasons that healing, it's you seldom, I think, you can pick up a wound and work through it and really put it down for good. I think it's actually a beautiful process of coming back to things, because when you come back to them, you come back to them with the lens of today. And if you are committed to your self-growth and committed to your healing, you would have gathered other things, tools to help you as you go back and look at this thing again. It never ends. You're right. It is a perpetual cycle. And I think that healing is one of the biggest commitments of self-love that you can have for yourself.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
I've had this conversation a few times because my resolution for this year was more fun. Because I think healing can be really heavy,
Mhm.
for want of a better word. And I was actually discussing this with someone. I've sat with myself for that long that I'm doing my own head in. So I think this year's been about maybe finding more fun in that healing. We can heal and we can still laugh and we can still giggle just as much as we need to cry and feel that pain.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't want anyone to be put off the journey because it can be quite intense, I think, especially if you've been through
Mhm.
quite a lot or you've had a lot of trauma that's brought you
Mhm.
to this kind of path. Um, but I think it's not underestimating the power in the connections, whether those connections are light or dark,
Mhm.
everything's there to teach us, to help us grow. We don't all need to be hippies living in the woods, is something that I've really come to like recently. You could be the local shopkeeper, you could be whatever, but you could still be doing the work. And I think that's something that we probably need to remember. I think again, I
Mhm.
can go off on loads of tangents, guys.
Oh, me too.
I've got ADHD, so there's never one straight channel.
And I'm a Sagittarius. I'm along for the ride with everything.
I think like social media would have us think that we all need to don big pants and go and bang a shamanic drum and live in the woods. But I've learned maybe over the last 18 months that if we all transcend the matrix and we all go and live this life, who's going to be here for the people who aren't living in the woods with yourself? So
That's true. That's
yeah, I think
true.
it's really about doing it your own way as well. I think there's so much noise on social media
Mm.
in terms of how we should be doing it, how it should look, how it. I think we need to remember that it'll look different for every person.
I agree. And the one thing I hear too, like over and over and over again, is so I believe that we heal ourselves and other people by sharing our humanness, our human experiences. I really do. It's that connectivity. And I hear people like say pretty often that they don't feel like they can go out and share their humanness until they're healed. And to your point, that is a never-ending cycle. But the other thing I think is really important to add too is like I think healing is about like changing the tire on the car while the car is in motion. Like you can't let that you're healing stop you from going out into the world and sharing your kindness, sharing your messages, even if it's just a kind word at the grocery store. Like
Yeah,
it's not something to stop people. It's done simultaneously, healing and living. And so I think that's a wonderful thing to remember too. So you've had quite an interesting journey. I've, had the pleasure of watching you for several years now.
it's been a
And
while now, hasn't it? Like I
it's
was looking the other day and I found an email from you from 2020. So it was probably around, and it was probably around that time, maybe before lockdown, like that. I don't know how I found you, Cami. I don't. It
It
just must
was
have.
prior to lockdowns. It was prior to that. Interesting. Uh, it was. That's a really good point because I can think about some of our very early conversations and how they've kind of progressed over the years, and I've watched you be sort of this person that was more inwardly turned for a very long time. And, I'm really proud of the work that you've been doing because you're outwardly, sharing your light too now. And there's nothing wrong with, I think, having an inward facing light. We need to illuminate the things within ourselves also. But I'm really just proud. And I want to say that to you, Karlla, like I'm really proud of the way that you have transformed yourself and the willingness, because I know your story, the willingness that you've had to really stand in dark places alone with yourself and to meet yourself there. And you've done such a wonderful job. And I'm so like in love with the light that you're sharing with the world.
Gonna make me cry. I'm like, and again, this is where the work comes in, isn't it? It's receiving that without going, oh, stop you. Do you know, like, and I feel that's something that I probably still, I don't, and this is the humanness, isn't it? I make no secret of the things that I struggle with. Even today, I was having anxiety about coming on the live. What if I don't know what I'm talking about? What if I forget what I'm going to say? What if like people look and think, oh, she chats nonsense? You know, like it was a whole thing. But it's the human element of it all, and I think um that is probably half of my relatability, and that's something that I am learning to own in terms of that is probably one of the things that makes me special and relatable is that I am quite open and honest with ask me a question and you'll get there. I think that's probably one of the nice things about having ADHD, isn't it? Like I am just this open book. But
I think sometimes too, like, and being, relatable and sharing, our individual stories out there is like sometimes people just need to know that they're not in it alone. Sometimes like that can give a person like the strength to go on for one more day. I think that there's tremendous healing in that for other people. And so, applaud you for sharing just you, your authentic you. I mean, who else would you share anyways? Who else would it be?
I'm a massive believer in that you can only meet another person as deep as you've met yourself. And I
That's
think
my
that,
favorite quote.
yeah, I think that's why I am so determined to just keep meeting myself every time. Why am I scared? What am I fearful of? What shapes me? Because then when I speak to other people, I think that's a lot of how I work. I mean,
Mm.
I have had a life like there has been that many things that I think probably were intended to break me, shape me, all of those things that
Mm.
I have just stood face on and looked and gone, this was, and I think I've come to a
Mm.
point now where I understand the why in a lot of it. Um,
I don't know that I'm asking why so much anymore. That's my favorite thing to tell people is I'm like helping, heal their perceptions. So I do a lot of perception work too within the emotions, is to ask people why. But I think in my, I literally stand in meeting myself. I love that, Karlla, every single day, several times a day. And I spent a lot of time searching for whys, which were very important for a long time to me. And now at this point in my journey, why the answer to why is because for my benefit, for your benefit, for everybody's benefit, for nobody's benefit, it doesn't matter.
think
There's a
I
benefit.
am I think I'm nosy, and I think that's probably one of the things that makes me quite a good coach because the
Mm.
why for me, like I'm in university at the moment. I remember us talking about it a few years ago, and me going, they're asking me to go to uni, and I don't want to do it, and I was quite reluctant. When I say they, I mean like my guides, and that's people that don't understand when I'm like they asked me, but they were pushing me and
Mm.
pushing me, pushing me to go back to education, and I was just like, why? But what I've realized, I mean, I've done the college course to get the qualifications to get into
Mm.
university, and I started in September.
Mm.
And I'm beginning to see like those qualities of me, the why, the what, the who, like they are really celebrated in this like
Mm.
kind of academic quality. And one of my lecturers said to me just before Christmas, we're really lucky to have you on our course. And like that kind of like blew my mind. All of those kind of things that in school I was reprimanded for or told, like that too much club. Like I've been in the too much club since the day I was born, but the too much is actually celebrated. So from those conversations that we had all those years ago, I've kind of like fell back on to the trajectory. I think I wouldn't have necessarily seen myself in higher adult I think we've gone off on a tangent, but there is a point to why I mentioned
well, it's about the why though, about we're talking about, you know, why, like meeting yourself and asking yourself why. And you're right, I do think in shadow healing, why is important. I think especially if you're working with inner child stuff, I think why is important to know. And I do think, and so to your point, there's always a benefit. Even in the most difficult of things, there is always something you can pick out and benefit from, 100%. And I think that's really important for people to hear and to understand, like even dark shadows have really big gifts in them too, if you're willing to go find them. So let's pivot for a second here, Ms. Karlla. Did you have something that you wanted to share or teach with us?
Yeah, so I did. I don't, we've only got 25 minutes, haven't we, left on our time? Because I'm very, like, we could talk all day, couldn't we? We go, let's just jump on a quick call, Cami, and like 2 hours later, we're still going.
I know.
But I did. So I'd done, I rewrote the chord cutting meditation, which was what I kind of felt drawn to share. But I'm not 100% sure I've got time to talk about chords and do the chord cutting meditation that I've written.
Okay, would you like, should we do just a brief summary of what energy chords are? Like, do you want to go there? Would that help? And then do the meditation or thoughts?
I've got time if people have got time. I'm not in any rush per se. I just don't want to take up everyone's time all evening because I could be here all evening.
Yeah, me too. Like I want to be time sensitive. I want to, you know, like that kind of stuff. But I love that you want to bring us a cord cutting ritual. I would love for us to do that. I'll summarize chords real quickly. So energy chords, and please add to this, are created when we have, I believe that they're created anytime we have, particularly if we have substantial or connected interactions with each other. I think we're born with some of them, like with our mothers. We have, I think, the strongest energy cord you're ever going to have is with your mother, for sure. Just so, what else do you want to add about them? They operate outside of the body, right?
Yeah, so it's again, it comes back down to that invisible, the things that we can't see. It's all on a spiritual, etheric level. We have them with people, places, situations, addictive behaviors. If you smoke, you've created a chord to smoking that becomes habitual. It's a ritual type of thing. So when I say I've rewritten it so it doesn't just encompass people, because we can have chords, even thoughts create a chord into that situation. And I think if you look at we are what we think kind of mentality, that again is creating energetic chords to something.
Correct.
So I've rewritten it so it encompasses people, places, spaces, behaviors.
I think that's very smart. So, you know, I think energy chords, personally, I think that they can be beneficial sometimes. If it's a healthy relationship. But I think most people, when we talk about energy cords, I think we talk about them in terms of the non-beneficial ones. And so with a person that's toxic, with a habit that's toxic, with a situation, a place, a memory, or even like a part of yourself that's become toxic that you need to disconnect the energy from. What's the benefit of removing energy cords from, let's just stick with people. I think we can understand that one a little bit better, but I love it. What's the benefit of removing it?
We're calling back our power to ourselves. So if you think of a cord as maybe if we're looking at the darker chords, the ones that drain us of our life force energy, it's just like having a drain plugged in. It takes your energy away, your attention will keep going to that situation. It can cause shadow issues in your behavior, in the way that you show up, and it'll keep taking you back to that situation. Sometimes when we cut the cords on an energetic level, it'll give you that kind of physical space to then be able to do some of the human work that we need to do with the person, people, space, whatever it is.
That's a really good point, is that it gives you the space to do some of the human work. So some of the work that you've done with me has been about removing cords. And the first time I think we did it, we asked to remove a cord from a person. And then the last time that we did it, I had the awareness that I needed to remove it from that person's attachment too. And it's such an interesting thing that you just said that too, because it was really that second energy cord removal from the other person's attachment that literally has given me space in the physical world to do some of the work that I needed to do to heal it. And so the ripples of doing energy work are felt everywhere. So it's important.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't just take care of your body, man. You got to take care of the insides of your body too. Right?
there's so much to it, isn't there? And there doesn't seem to be a book that goes right. And then I asked for the book, or I don't know how many times I've said to you, I wish they'd just give me an instruction manual and let me work my way through the instructions.
Maybe that's for you to write, maybe that's what, maybe that's, one of the ways that you share your wisdom in the world. I love it. I'm currently working on 3 different journals right now to put out in the world. Like, I think that's, we started this conversation, Karlla, by saying that there is no manual for us. And maybe it's us that creates the manuals for future generations to come. So I just want you to tuck that in your cap. I'm sure we'll talk about it again.
So I think before I whiz into the meditation, I've written it so it's a visualization, normally on a one-to-one with me, and Zoom and Skype and all the Skype. I don't think Skype even exists anymore, but Zoom online. I found it really hard to get my instruments to transmute across. I think the frequencies, I use a lot of sound bowls, I've got shamanic drums, things like that. I think the frequency is too high for it to be picked up on like microphones and stuff. So we're always adapting and twisting and bending to technology, aren't we? I think I've written them more so they're more of a visualization. And again, I think it was the one that I did for you that actually kind of clicked for me, that the recordings actually work just as well as doing it live, as doing it in person.
Yes.
So I've done a lot more recordings since I've done that one for you.
Fantastic. They do. And like I had said to you too, when you had done that for me, like the energy was already out in the world, whether I listened to it immediately or the next day, the healing and the energy and essence was already in the world working its magic for me, for sure. So, okay, so are you playing music? Because we have to be very careful with music here on Facebook.
So this is why I'm just going to stick with a kind of visualization. There's lots of ways that we can do it. The energy is woven within the words that I speak.
Okay.
I drew down my energy and projected it through this when we first started, to like protect myself and just to make sure that it all comes out and does what it needs to do.
Lead us through it.
But and I think even for me, sometimes the music is a tangible thing that I can hide behind. And that's something I've had to really sit with, in terms of maybe the sound is another distraction from myself, because what I'm doing, I can't see. So then if I've got crystals, incense, sage, sound bowls, drums, they're all just tangible things, aren't they, that I can deliver.
And in a world where we're talking about intangible medicines. Interesting. So
yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to give this over to you. I'm going to participate just like I hope everybody else watching now or in the replay participates. And, take it away, Miss Karlla.
Yeah. So I've actually lit a candle, because I wasn't able to set everyone up and say, get candles, do this. But anyone who is witchy or woo, if they want to draw in their own protection, I'm just going to give you a minute to do that now before we go into the meditation. But if not, and this isn't something I'd normally recommend, I have done protection for this practice, but I'd always recommend doing your own protection and looking after yourself.
Agree. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if you've got a candle, light one, and I think that's just another tangible way of creating protection in yourself. But I have lit one for the collective. And then just find a little space where you won't be disturbed. Probably about 15 minutes this is going to take, start to end.
Perfect.
And then I'll just invite everyone to just close their eyes and just take a few breaths to arrive, because I think the conversation's been quite bubbly.
Okay.
Okay, so as I say, this is just going to be a short meditation and visualization. It's a little bit more of a condensed version of what I would offer. So we're going to begin just by taking another breath together as a collective. And as we do that, I'm going to invite you to visualize roots coming from the bottom of your feet. These roots are going to penetrate through the earth, through the layers, through the floor beneath you, through the soil, into the center of the earth. When you reach the center of the earth, you will see a tourmaline crystal. I'd ask you just to wrap your roots around the tourmaline crystal. Know that this will ground and protect you further throughout this meditation. Okay, I invite you now to say the following aloud or in your mind's eye with the passion. With your hands at heart center. You can repeat after me silently or in your mind's eye. I am open to receive healing from the universe for the highest good of all. Once you've done that, I invite you to nod your head and acknowledge me. As we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. You may come back to this slow, conscious breath at any time you find the monkey chatter distracting you. But for now, I invite you to begin a body scan. We begin at the top of our head and work our way through the rest of the body. As you do this, I invite you to bring your awareness to the top of your head and bring a sensation of calm to this area. As we move through, we will send love and relaxation to each part of the body. I invite you now to relax the crown of your head. Relax the forehead and the brow. Feeling the space between your eyes soften as you settle into today's practice. Relax your eyes and eye sockets. Relax the muscles of your face, the cheeks, the cheekbones, the jaw and the mouth. Feeling the space you've created between your teeth. As this area softens and tension leaves for another home. Relax the muscles of your neck, feeling each vertebrae melt into the neck. Feel your throat chakra loosen as your energy begins to flow. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands and fingers. And allow your awareness to come to your chest and heart center. Feel your inner light shining as a beautiful emerald green light begins to shine from your heart chakra. I invite you to take a deep breath here and let it go. Moving your awareness now to your core, the home of your solar plexus and our confidence base. Breathing in a beautiful yellow light to this area. Following down with your awareness to your hips and pelvis. Relax any tension stored here. giving it back to Mother Earth, but it is not yours to carry anymore. Imagining a beautiful orange light emanating from your sacral chakra. As you move your awareness to the base of your spine, imagine a beautiful red root growing from the ground beneath you. Feel it anchor you to the core of this earth, safe and secure in the knowledge you can achieve anything you put your mind to, protected and safe in the light. As you take your awareness now to the thighs and calf, allowing your awareness to flow through this area, relaxing the part of you that holds you up all day, a constant support mechanism we rarely stop to appreciate. Thank your legs for carrying you around. Stay with this relaxing awareness as you move to your ankles, feet and toes. Relax. Release your ankles, feet and toes and allow them now to just be for the duration of this session. Awaken, child of the light. You are called to awaken. The unique being that is you, beautiful child, awaken. Find your light. Remember who you are. Lose the conditions of the mind that hold you back from remembering. The path of the light may be fierce, wild, unexplainable and demanding, but you must release now all that does not serve you. The lies that you tell yourself, the limits you place upon your future story. The limits you place on your future story because of experiences, the labels, inner narratives and barriers you erected and created to protect your heart and soul. It's time to remove the illusion of societal conditioning and preconceived notions of what is possible and return to your light center. As you remember who you are before life took over your soul and heart's desire. The universe is an incredible and insatiable lover, and she wants to co-create your life with you. She is creation and asks you to help co-create your destiny in alignment with universal love and truth. Time to release emotional layers that no longer serve you. As you approach the light on your journey back to your soul, think of it like a sunny day. We must shed on our ascension to the light, just as you would remove layers of clothing as it heats up. All the layers of physical and emotional baggage, layers that keep us stuck, repeating cycles and patterns, lifetime after lifetime, generation after generation. There is a truth and consciousness asking for your attention, more worthy, and it's time to claim what has always been yours. Cast off the shackles of shame and claim who you are. The universe wants you to succeed and is always sending signs, teachers and practices to point you in the right direction. Synchronicity is beautiful when you are aware of your life. It's time to trust in yourself and your inner workings and awaken your truth. I invite you now to visualize yourself standing upon a cliff. As you look up, the sky above is clear and bright. As you look below, you see a vast, beautiful landscape with beautiful valleys and ravines. As you look around, you can see acres upon acres of beautiful greenery, trees, mountains, and rivers. It feels calm. You feel safe. Visualize now yourself standing on the edge of a majestic cliff. Feel the solid, firm air beneath your feet. You are safe, secure, and grounded in this moment. As you stand there, feel the connection between you and the air beneath your feet. Now turn your attention to the sky above. Visualizing a brilliant, warm light shining down from above, bathing you in its glow. Visualize this healing light forming a protective barrier around you now. This barrier is strong and impenetrable, shielding you from negativity and harm. You are safe, protected, and enveloped in healing energy. This light is healing and filled with love and positive energy. Feel it wash over you, soaking into your skin, filling you with a warm, healing energy. As the light surrounds you, imagine it seeping into your body, reaching every cell, every organ, every part of you. It heals, soothes, and revitalizes your body and mind. Any tension, worry, or negativity is washed away and replaced by a sense of peace, calm, and well-being. While the healing light continues to work its magic, focus on your breath. Inhaling deeply, drawing more of this healing light. As you exhale, slowly visualize any lingering tension or negativity leaving with your breath. With each breath in and out, you become more relaxed and more at peace. Spend now a few more moments on this cliff top, absorbing the healing light, feeling the air beneath you. Envisioning now standing opposite you on this cliff, the person, situation, thing, or limiting behavior you wish to release. Knowing that the first thoughts that come to you in this visualization is what's being asked to be released now. Between you, the person, situation, thing, or limiting behavior you wish to release, imagine a cord. This cord represents an energetic connection, a connection between you, the person, place, situation, or limiting behavior that has now served its purpose and is ready to be released. Envision this cord glowing with a soft, warm light. This light signifies all the experiences, memories, and lessons learned from your journey together to this point. Take a moment now to honor these experiences as the treasures that they are. As you stand upon the cliff top, facing your person, place, situation, or limiting behavior, express gratitude to the cord you wish to release for the lessons learned, the love shared, or the experiences had. May you now recognize the strength and growth that this connection has brought to your life. Good, bad, and at times ugly. Now, I invite you to visualize a pair of golden ethereal scissors in your hand. Feel the coolness of the metal against your palm and the weight of the scissors in your hand. These are no ordinary scissors. These scissors are a sacred tool filled with wisdom and strength. Now, I ask you to take a final opportunity to say anything you need, either silently or aloud, to the person, place, situation, or behavior you wish to release. This could be a thank you, a farewell, a blessing, or simply a recognition of what the cord has meant to you. It is time to release the hold this connection has over you. When you are ready, raise the scissors, cut and release the cord. As you do, feel the release of energy, the lifting of the weight this connection has placed upon you. Watch as the cord dissolves into the light, leaving only peace, freedom, and space. Sit for a moment with this newfound freedom. Feel the space you have created and the possibilities it holds. For now, you and your person, place, situation, or behavior are now separated. You are free to walk your path, secure in the knowledge that you carry the love and lessons for your shared sacred journey. You are now free. I invite you now to bring your attention back to your breath. Breathe in deeply as you feel your lungs and stomach expand. Hold for a moment, then exhale slowly. You can repeat this 3 times. And with each breath, feel a sense of calm and peace washing over you. As you come back to your physical surroundings, wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your awareness back to your physical body. Take a moment to express gratitude for this experience and for the healing that has taken place. Call back your roots. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Thank you for letting me work with you this evening, today, and we will close the space with your hands at your heart center. The light in me sees the light in you. May you live from your heart space full of love, joy, compassion, and empathy for all living things, unconditionally loving yourself and others, free to just be.
Amen. That was amazing. Thank you. It's going to take me a minute to come back. That was really beautiful, Karlla. Thank you for sharing that. Wonderful imagery, great conversation. I had chosen to let go of a prior version of myself. And so I really appreciate you. I get all emotional, like facilitating like this process for all of us and sharing your medicine. That was absolutely stunning. Thank you very much for putting that together for us. It was powerful.
Just lots, so the same for everybody, lots of water. If you want to cry, cry again. They're all ways of releasing. And I think that is important to understand that you could have a range of emotions. You might feel angry, you might feel sad, you might feel happy. There's so many things that come with it. And I think the lesson after this evening is to just enjoy whatever it is that comes up following that.
I agree. Lots of thank yous in the comments for you. Just wanting to acknowledge like the beautiful work and the beautiful soul that you are.
If anyone's got any questions,
Mm.
then that if they want to just pop them in before we go, like, and if again, if anything comes up after and you want
Mm.
to discuss it, then by all means just message me on the page
Yep.
or message me.
I've posted your link for the page in the body of this post, but I can certainly share it again too in the comment section so that if folks would like to do some more work with you, like to go a little bit farther and maybe even have like a personalized meditation too to help them move on, then they can reach you. I thought it was just terrific. And I'm very, very thankful. What a beautiful opportunity you gave us today, Karlla. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thank
Oh,
you.
me too. With that, I think we're gonna close up. I just wanted to say one more time, thank you so much for everybody that's watching. Up next on March 10th, we have Miss Candy Nichols with Moonstar Healing coming to bring us her special medicine. After that is Terry James, Megan Rose, Shannon Lane, and a host of other people as we go on through April and into May. And thank you again so much for sharing your specialness with us, Karlla. I am sending you all my very, very best, and I'll be seeing you around.
Thank you. Bye. Love you, Cami.
Bye. Love you. Bye.